current book, My Germany, is a very personal story about his visit back to the country his parents fled. And it's a very provocative book, and I'm sure it stimulates conversation. Yours, and the desk, and the mic. So go for it.
Ich habe eine Hauslehrerin im Sommer gehabt, so ich muss etwas Kurzes auf Deutsch sagen. So, danke, dass Sie gekommen sind, and if that's enough, thank you very much. So what the book does is weave together my parents' histories with Germany, my growing up, and the ways in which Germany was part of my life, even if it wasn't necessarily spoken about. It was part of the silence in our house, which is a silence that's very common for children of Holocaust survivors, because there's so much that they can't talk about with their parents, that their parents are too traumatized to bring up, and that you don't always know what the right question is to ask. And sometimes you ask a question and the answer you get is so difficult to deal with that you can't take it any further than that. So, and then it's about something that I never expected would happen to me, which is that I'm now on my 4th trip to Germany and learning German. And to me, growing up, German was the taboo language, the taboo country. It was a place I could never visit. We weren't allowed to buy anything that was made in Germany, not even a Deutsche Grammophon record, which was really aggravating because my family loved classical music, so they'd always have to buy the second best recording of something, not the best recording. And also try getting a nice coffee grinder that's not made in Germany. That's difficult. We couldn't have anything German in our house. And I grew up with this sense that Germany was sort of like the evil empire in Star Wars. You know, everybody had that Darth Vader helmet on, and they were all breathing behind it, and they all had really dark and horrible voices, and they were planning on exterminating everyone they could. So I grew up with this very split sense of, I am Jewish, but I'm not. My parents, you know, why are we living in New York? Why didn't they go to Israel? Well, they didn't go to Israel because they didn't want to be among so many Jews. Now, somebody should have told them that New York is a very Jewish city. They might have, maybe they would have gone to Kansas. What was very clear at that point, though, was the dates of my mother's deportations. And here I have to thank the Nazis, which I never thought I would do, because thanks to their obsessive record keeping, I knew the exact dates of each place she was and when she was transported and when she arrived. First, it showed me the Buchenwald prisoner identification card that I had only seen in a really bad photocopy. Now, it was in a plastic sleeve, and it blew my mind that it was so well preserved. But there was more to it, because as I looked at it, I realized this is a page of evil. This represents pure, unmitigated evil because of what had been done through it. And there, live, I saw, so to speak, I saw my mother's bold handwriting. And they let me take it out of the sleeve, and they let me touch my mother's prisoner card from Buchenwald. Okay. Now, graphologists, handwriting specialists say that handwriting is a frozen gesture. And I was in touch with one of my mother's gestures. I was in touch with her in a unique way. And it struck me as absolutely amazing that after 3 years of being in the ghetto and concentration camps and suffering, she could still write beautifully. I thought that was an incredible protest and assertion of her individuality and her humanity. And as I sat there drinking my wine and looking around and chatting a little with the waitress, where are you from? She knew why I was there. Boy, why else would an American be there? I thought that I had really come to an amazing place in my life. Because instead of wanting to just get on a plane and flee Germany forever and never come back for any reason whatsoever, after what I learned that afternoon, I felt very calm. And I felt very appreciative of the simplest things. A friendly waitress, a good glass of wine, a hearty meal. She had a very split picture of Germany, you know. She actually once encouraged me to go to Germany when I met a student from Freiburg. And he invited me, and she said, well, you should go. You know, it might be good for you. Well, you know, after decades of taboo, my mother says something like this, I just thought she had lost her mind, or she was a test, you know, I'm supposed to say, yeah, I'll get my passport tomorrow, and then she says, wrong answer. So nothing ever came of that, but I don't think I would have been ready back then. I am on a train heading into Magdeburg in eastern Germany, about 2 hours southwest of Berlin. 61 years ago, my late mother was also on a train heading into Magdeburg. But she was on a very different kind of train. Her train did not have a dining car. Her train did not have a toilet. I'm just beginning to get into reading more complicated German books. That's going to take a while because I still have trouble remembering that the verbs are at the end or might come at the end. Or there's a joke, I don't know if my German teacher told me about somebody who had a book and someone had torn out the last page, so she didn't know how it ended because all the verbs were there. It's a very complicated language.
Oh, in German. That's sweet. Thank you very much.